Hey everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative, and you're probably wondering what I've got going on here today. Before I explain this whole setup I've got going on here, I thought what I would do is I took one of my other ceramic resin pieces and I ended up getting the chrome in that new spray paint, the one we had used the gold on my last project. Well, I've got the chrome. And I just wanted to show you what it looked like. It's it's chrome. There's nothing, well, I shouldn't say there's nothing silver about this. That's a total fake thing to say. It is definitely silver, but it definitely has a chrome look to it. I had expected the gold to be more like this. Now, maybe it's because of what I've sprayed it onto, which makes no sense as I say that out loud. I just thought I would show you the silver. So there you have it. But I just thought I'd let you see what the silver looked like. I'm pretty sure it's chrome is the color they called it on the container. So I just thought I'd show you that. Now, what are we going to be doing today? Well, today we're doing a not mixed to mold. Yes, mixed to mold. Actually, that is the ceramic resin I'm using today. And we are doing this silicone piece that's sitting precariously on this tray. I got this from Temu. I got it a while ago. To be honest, when I bought it, I really wasn't sure what I was getting, and I'm still not 100% sure. So we're going to make this piece, and we're going to figure it out together. Now, this piece came, and it was split, so it would be easier. And I look at most of these types of molds as being for wax candles. And obviously, I'm using them for either resin or for ceramic resin. I set this up the way I did because on the inside, because of how they split this, it was coming apart on the inside as well. And I see a little black marky thing here, and you know what, I'm going to leave it. I can always sand it up. It wasn't tight together. I know sometimes you can cut silicone molds and when you sort of clip them together, or when you push them together, or you wrap tape around them, it holds them together better. Well, these clips really weren't holding it because they've split it in the inside as well in spots. So I used these as sort of props to push this back together. How well that's going to turn out for me, I haven't got a clue. But that's why this is set up the way it is, so I could get some pressure pushing those pieces together. And when I pour in my ceramic resin, I'm going to have to be really careful that I don't push it apart. I'm fingers crossed this works the way it is intended to work. I filled it up with some water just so I could get an idea how much of the ceramic resin I needed. And it didn't leak, or maybe I didn't give it enough time to see if it would leak. But that's another reason it's on this tray, is in the unlikely event that it leaks, I'm not leaking it absolutely everywhere, right? Okay, we are going to be making orange for this piece. I'm going to be using the Jdiction resincrete pigments. I've got my yellow and my red out. We're going to mix that into the water versus adding it into the ceramic resin powder. I'd rather have it mixed in the water and then pour it in and go from there. I also, as usual, have an extra mold out should I need it. So I think what we're going to do is just so I can get the other mold level, I'm just going to carefully move this over here. And we're going to, as I say, we're going to be careful when we pour it in because I don't want to put too much pressure on the mold itself. And I don't want to dislodge what I've set up because, well, that wouldn't be very good, would it? So let's get this going and see how we can make orange. Well, I'm looking at red and yellow making orange, so there you go. I'm not going to put that back on. I might need some more. Depends on how intense I want my orange to be. And I had thought of making this white, to be honest with you. I thought we'll make it white, and then when it comes out, you know, maybe we'll have a much better idea of what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I decided not to. Okay, so my yellow, interestingly enough, is not breaking up the way I had hoped it would be. It's got some lumps in it. And I definitely have way too much red in there. I should have done yellow and then added my red to it. But I'm sure we can make this work. And if push comes to shove, I'll just add some more into the mix once I have it in there. I just thought it'd be easier if I did this first. And I am going to let this sit, well, you know me. I'll probably be letting it sit for a couple hours before I decide to take it out. That'll probably be enough yellow. I'm starting to get orange. You'll see that better as I mix it up. I'll show it to you before I pour it. Let's see. Yeah. So that's sort of what I've got right now. So we'll pour that into the ceramic resin. We'll mix that up and we'll see how it looks. And I'm thinking I want my bigger mixer. So it's extremely warm here in Ontario. I was talking to someone earlier who is in, I think she said South Carolina, and said it was warm there. I tend to think it's warm in a lot of places right now. We are in a heat wave. It started yesterday. I've had my air conditioning on, but I'm doing my bestest not to have it too cold in the house, but cool enough that the dog and I are content with the temperature. She's getting groomed this week, and I swear she probably wishes I had gotten her groomed. Yeah, sooner than what she is getting groomed. I do feel for her. She's black, so when she's out in this weather, she tends to sit on the lawn or lay on the lawn because of the coolness that she gets from sitting on the grass, which I totally appreciate. Okay, but it's definitely warm weather, and actually what I'm hopeful for is my tomato plants that I put out have taken a bit of a hit, and so I'm hopeful that this weather will do them some good, because I know tomatoes like it warm and dry. Well, I don't want to say dry, but I know they like it warm. So hopefully this will do them some good. I know we've got some cherry tomatoes growing, and we've got some bigger ones, and it's my bigger plants that just don't look very good. So I'm hoping that maybe they come back. Now my color is looking peachy, and it's kind of a pretty color. So you know what? I think I'm going to leave it, because we know that this may get more intense in color as it starts to dry out. So we'll just leave it the color it is. I'll show it to you before I pour it, so you can just see what it looks like. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. And we'll just very carefully pour this in. I'm not sure if I'm going to attempt to move it around, just because, and I'm hopeful that because of how I'm doing this, I was so concerned, I was worried about that, you know, that I have a ton of this left. That is not good. I should have gone with my first instincts on this. Anyway, okay, it's getting some bubbles in it. So what I'm going to do, and I got some, we'll just tap this a little bit. Okay, and then I can feel or saw that I have some of the mixture. I didn't get it all the way in. I'm glad I got the piece out that I did for this. Put the rest of this in, because it's definitely, I'm definitely going to have leftover. Definitely. Okay. So that might help you see the color a little bit better. And hopefully it is staying secure and together. Now, I think what I might do with this is I'm going to put a little bit more red in this. And mix it up and make it a little more intense for this other piece. I guess I'm going to make it a little more red. It's still a really pretty color. This is a mushroom house that I'm going to be pouring the rest of this into. And I'm just trying to think. I've got about 210 left over of this. Is this going to be enough for this one? I don't know. Again, I'm just going to move this around and jiggle it a bit so we don't end up with any air bubbles in it. Well, there you go. You're going to get two pieces for the price of one in this video. Yeah, I betcha. I feel like I am, yeah, I'm going to have some left over. This is hilarious. Apparently, my guesstimate on that first piece was so out to lunch. So I'm going to have to let you go. I'm going to have to go find something else to quickly pour the rest. Or you know what? You know what we're going to do? If I can get this on here, hopefully, because I'm running out of space. So I've got this skull mold here, and we will use him for the rest of this. Hopefully that does it, right? Okay, use both hands, Natalie. Don't move this with one. So we're going to put that over there. We're not leaking, so that's brilliant. I'll put this guy back here. And he's, yep, he's good. We'll bring Mr. Skull in. And we'll pour into him. I had him out for another reason. I'm excited to do, there's a video I want to do with you. It'll be Halloween related, which I was in Michael's on the weekend, and you know what? They've already got their Halloween stuff out, people. I was laughing. I was in the store and I was laughing to myself because I thought, you're kidding, right? Nope. No kidding. I couldn't believe it. I thought, we are not even out of June and you've already got your Halloween stuff coming in. I'm surprised that there's not school stuff out yet for the fall. And we're not even done school here in Ontario. I know the States is out earlier than we are here. I have family down the States, and my niece is a teacher and she posts when school's out down there. And it's shocking to me that I just can't believe Halloween. But hey, why not? Christmas will be out in September, or August. All right, so I made, as you can see, way too much. But yeah, so I should have gone with my gut instinct on that. I had 200 of the ceramic resin, and that would have probably been plenty for that piece because I had about 200 left, right? So yeah, 200 would have been good. Anyway, we are going to let these sit and set up now and see what happens. It's kind of so cool, right? We've got this piece here that isn't sort of setting as such because it's still really watery on the top. And then I've got these other two pieces. This one specifically is like, okay, we're going to set up, and this one's quick too. So it's going to be interesting, but we will leave them for a couple of hours. We'll come back. We will take these out. We'll hopefully define what this one is. I know, that sounds so sad, right? Natalie, how do you not know what it is you bought? Well, I don't really know what I bought. Anyway, so we'll unveil that and see what we've actually got. I think it has to do with flowers. It's different looking than, yeah, the picture online was a little different. Anyway, so you understand why I've got it set up the way I do, why I've got it on the tray. We've got 2 other pieces that we'll take out of the mold, and I think the skull one will be interesting to decorate him up once he's out. And when I get myself organized for the other video that I want to do with some Halloween pieces I've got, we will get going on them. So stay tuned. We will be back to see what it is. See you in a bit. Well, I think we're ready to take these pieces out, or at least I'm hopeful that we can. And then before I let you go today, there's a new product that I have just recently gotten from Michaels. I should be a spokesperson for Michaels for the amount of different things I get, and some of the stuff I've gotten I haven't even shown you yet. But anyway, let's get around to this stuff. So we'll dismantle my packages here as far as my trying to support my piece. You'd almost think I'd been putting up a building or something with what I was doing. I even have a piece of string on this far side that was sort of to hold this together. There are always things around your house. I was working with something last week, and I went to YouTube, which is my normal place to go to find ideas. And when you start looking for things, it's amazing what you can find that goes, oh, I have that around the house. I can use that to do that. And at least it's a start with, you know, potentially getting something done without having to buy anything, which is brilliant, I think. When you can watch videos, you can get insight into something, and then you can expand on that however you want to. So let's get this guy out of here. And just to let you know, with this mold I got from Temu, these clips did come with it. They were part of it. I mean, these things are all over the place, but I did want to let you know that. I do have some air pockets at the top of this. And I have to admit, one of the nice things is with having one of these split, there, I think, advantages and disadvantages is that you can open it like this and get your piece out that much easier. So let's work on getting this out. How long did this sit for? This was probably sitting for, it's an hour and a half, hour and 3/4, something like that. See, so this folds right down. Now we just have to carefully, and I'm going to have some work to do cleaning up the sides of this. Try and get this out without hurting anything. This will be the bottom of it, I believe. Wait, okay. So, bottom? No. No, that would be the bottom, right? Yeah. See, this is what I told you. It's one of those, what exactly is this? So I'm almost thinking this is meant to be a stand for something, not anything very big, obviously, because that pretty much takes up the center. But obviously you could put something in that. And I'm almost wondering, I'm trying to think. Let me just show you what it looks like, and then you can help me potentially know what it actually is. These look like seashells. I had almost thought they might have been flowers, but I think they're seashells. So it might have maybe something one would consider putting in a fish bowl or a tank or something like that. I'm not sure what I would have that would be the right size to put on top of this. Or maybe you just do it up and it's something unique and interesting that you set on your table in your dining room. It was one of those things I looked at and went, well, this looks interesting, and I bought it. I don't always recommend doing stuff like that. And I'm just, let me see, what else have I got that might be, yeah. I'm not sure what the point is of this piece. I really don't. So if you have thoughts below, I would love to know how you would potentially use this piece. I like some of the decoration on it. I have to admit, I like this a little bit. I'm just not sure what to put on the top of it to make it worthwhile. I mean, you could always put a battery operated tea light on the top of it. I'm supposing you can maybe decorate it. I am just having a thought. Don't you love how I do that? I just come up with ideas as I'm sitting here thinking to myself, as I'm having to go right across my room. So give me a moment. Maybe we could, I'm thinking, it's the only thought that's going through my head right now. So a bird perch, I almost wondered about building a little bit of a bird bath somehow, or I have from, again, Michael's, and I'm trying to think of what they call the stuff, and you can pull it apart, and I don't know the name of it, but anyways, imagine it being like bird nest material that you could put and make a little bird's nest to put this, one of these little birds on. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It doesn't lend itself to being able to do a lot with the top of that, does it? And the only other thing that may fit on it is one of my favorite little bowls. But that makes no sense whatsoever. I can't even pull that off. Nope. Anyway, perhaps a bird feeder, bird bath, bird something or other. Like I say, I'm grasping at straws, can you tell? However, if you've got an idea for this, I would love to know what it is. And like I say, there's spots in here, like we would chip some of this off because I know it's leaked through, and I would want to attempt doing this while it's still somewhat wet, just to clean it up. And I would probably use my big X-Acto knife versus the small one, but I'd be very, very careful doing that, and or use a Dremel to sand out and clean it up a little bit. But yeah, that's what we've got. Again, what exactly it is, I don't know. But you could have fun painting it. And I've got quite a few air bubbles. I mean, I was rushing putting this in. So again, we know we have to be careful because the air bubbles are fast and furious coming through here. And now this little spot over here, I don't know if it's supposed to be flat like it is or if I've missed part of it. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would definitely do it slower next time. I'd beat it around a little bit to ensure that I got the ceramic resin everywhere it needed to be. So let me just get these guys out of the way. And then we'll move on to the 14,000 other things I got to make as a result of this. Okay, so this is a mushroom house. It got some air bubbles in the bottom of it as well. This would be easily painted. This is kind of a cool piece. And again, I hope I don't have a lot in the way of air bubbles in it as a result of pouring it too fast. Again, I got a little ahead. And I think I'll only ever use this for mixed mold. I don't know why. It just seems to be what you would want. And I know I've done a video on this one before, but I think that's going back quite a ways. And this one would be a really cool piece to decorate up. Even with a little bit of extra color on it, I think this is kind of a cool piece. And I think this would look really neat in a garden. And maybe if you could make a bit of a stoop or something for it to sit on, so it's not sitting right in the dirt itself. I mean, obviously you would want, I almost imagine if you could, set it up on a rock or something like that, so it's not right down into the ground. And I would protect it from the elements. I always talk about protecting things from the elements. And obviously, yes, I do have air bubbles in this as well. So that would look kind of cool decorated up. And then last but not least, we have our skeleton. Thankfully, I had this set over at the side so I could pull something into it. This came out rather well. I'm pleased. Okay, so the nice detail that this picked up, I mean, I know I've got a couple of air bubbles in there, but I like that we've got the detail came out as well as it did, because I wasn't, again, I wanted to get it poured really quickly, and it actually turned out pretty decently. I think there are a lot of different things that you could potentially do with this, and if you're a really good painter, because there's some fine details in here that you'd be able to really make it look cool. Or if you did like different colors in here, or even one color that's different from here. And I'm thinking, for me, I'm thinking something like the chrome powders. If you mix those up with UV resin and then decorated it with that, or fine markers, you could do that. Part of me is wanting to think about having something that you could put down that you could heat up and it would actually meld into this. It's an idea. I have no idea what product you would use for that, but that would be kind of neat to have it just melt into. Now, the one idea I have, and I've done this before, there are some products that I use in my card making that there's special markers that you could draw in with and then put the powder on top, and then it embossing powder is what I'm thinking. Embossing powder. And Dilutions has rocks out there. I want to think of the name. I'll put it in the description below what they are, but there's potential of using that. Obviously, once this is completely dried, then you could do that. But I also like the idea if there was a film or something that you could just put on, and when you melted it, it would just sort of soak into it somehow. But if there's something like that out there that you know of, please mention it in the description below. All right, so that's that. I have to clean up my skull mold for sure, because I have used that for resin. All right. This is a new product that is at Michael's now, and they have a whole variety of this brand name in different products. When I bought this, I thought, oh my gosh, could this bottle be any bigger? And thankfully it's not, but I have been using it consistently. It's for cleaning your brushes. I have been using it for, yes, whatever brushes I have. I'm not particular on when they, for the most part, when they say only use it for certain type. It says cleans and reconditions synthetic bristle brushes and roller covers. With my card making, I've been using it for other things. So for example, these little foam pads that I have used for painting or for using dioxides with, I actually cleaned one of these the other day, and I'm actually impressed how well it cleaned it. I've also been using it on my brushes. It says it works on oil, latex, and enamel paints, varnish, lacquer, shellac, and polyurethane. I have not yet used it from a polyurethane or shellac point of view. I have been using it for everything I've been using it with has been water-based. So I don't know how well this would work for varnish, lacquer, shellac, and that kind of thing. But I have been impressed with how it's cleaning, how it's been cleaning things out. So I just thought I would mention this to you. Like I said, Michael's has a whole range of these products out there now by that specific company, and I don't know what they all do. I wanted something specific for my brushes instead of just using water. All right, that's it. That's all I've got for this video. I want to thank everyone who is supporting my channel. It means the world to me when you help support my channel, because it'll, as others have said, it allows us to continue making the videos. So you learn tips and tricks from us, what not to do, what products may be beneficial to you with what you're doing. And anyway, I love doing this. I love sharing what I'm learning. I love when you see when I make mistakes, because I think that's really important that you know that I don't always get it right on the first go. I usually don't, and you need to know that, because if you're just starting out, it's important that you don't think I get it perfect every time, because as you saw today, I did not get it perfect, even close as far as measuring went. So that's important to me. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. I will see you in the next video, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Take care, and bye for now.